And them that you had an army buddy from Sykes. Now I sure don't remember what we did with the rifle.
What
I
size?
think we had to turn them in.
I know we turned them in. We weren't allowed to bring them. But I have got one since I got back, exactly the same one that we used.
Oh, really?
At that store on the counter. That thing was shoot from here to Ed Thomas's used car lot. I keep it loaded all the time.
What size shells that Luger used?
9mm. I brought some German 9mm ammunition to me home. Mine's a 1940 one. You ever seen one?
I got one in the drawer up there, no?
Huh?
Okay.
He's seen one, he's seen mine.
Oh, you got one?
You got a Luger?
You ever seen one?
Yeah, he showed me that one time.
How long were you in? The P-38.
How long were you at Fort Bragg? When you got back from Europe to Fort Bragg, is that where you were stationed till you got discharged?
Yeah.
How long were you there before you got discharged?
Stayed there about 6 or 7 days. Lost our records, and we were scared to leave. At least seven to 8 days.
Oh, so you weren't there like 3-4 months. You were just there for a week or so.
No, it was 6 or 7 days.
You loose just as fast as they were coming in.
And so how did you get back to Roxborough?
Oh, Frank and my mother met me down there. Fort Bragg. I called them up.
What'd they pick you up in?
I got a picture of Merle. That came down there when I was the first one in. Yeah, somewhere. Burnish Wren and
What kind of car did they pick you up in?
Oldsmobile.
41 O's,
1941
White
Olds?
Oldsmobile.
white.
That was a pretty car when they first got it. I went to Lansing, Michigan, and got it. Saw it when it came off the center line at the factory.
Were you one of the few guys from Roxborough that survived the war?
No. But yeah,
Okay. Well, for my mom, when she was talking with her, it seemed like every week there was another person from Roxborough getting their notice. You know, that their son had been killed in action.
I don't think so many of them got killed in Roxborough. Slow teeth up with
One neighbor down here married.
Yeah, Dr. Murray's son, Sam Shaw, had a brother that got killed. And Shanko, this boy lived down here, got killed. He went in at the same time I did. I drove his car back. He was in the 82nd. And they pulled out before we did, and I drove his car home for him.
Then when you got back, you started back at the store? When you got back, you started back at the store, or did you...
I don't remember what I did.
You
I
started...
went to Chicago after that.
Chicago?
Chicago.
What was that for?
Went to school up there, to electronic school.
Oh, really?
A whole lot of things you don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was drafted from Nashville, Tennessee when I was drafted.
What do you mean?
I was in Tennessee when I got drafted.
They sent the notice here to Roxborough?
Yeah. I was going to school up at the aircraft school. I was trying to get out of going. I almost had it made.
How's that?
Well, if I'd have stayed there, but I'd have been there 6 more weeks, they couldn't have drafted me.
Why?
Well, I was in an aircraft school there that they counted that as a lot of these. Even Collins and Aikman had people they didn't draft. They got them out.
Huh.
It was all crooked.
So the aircraft school would have gotten you bypassed the draft?
Well, if I'd have been there 6 more weeks, they could have. I wouldn't have had to go.
I thought the only people that were getting out of the draft were from medical reasons.
Shit, no. Yeah, people
No,
doing that, making cloth up here, they claim it's making denim for for the army, Colin Nakeman didn't have to go.
Huh.
You were, I've forgotten what the name of it. If you were in a critical production line or something like that, you could get deferred.
Or if you were farming, they would exempt some of them. If you were the only one left in the family, they would exempt them.
How'd you get along with the British troops over there?
Am I what?
With the British troops over in
British
Europe?
troops, how'd you get along with
We
them?
got on all right. See, the whole time we were in Holland, we were under British rule. I mean, they had control of us. That's a funny thing though. Back here, you couldn't get a can of sardines or nothing. We were issued sardines in our rations about every day from the British. But you couldn't get a can of sardines back in.
Did you write a lot back when you were overseas?
Not too much. I never have been a good hand to write.
Did you receive a lot of letters?
Yeah.
Any other kind of packages?
Yeah. A lot of packages.
Food?
Yeah.
How were you able to send back souvenirs?
How was it?
Yeah, how'd you do that?
I mailed them back.
So it didn't matter?
No, they didn't care. I could have mailed all I wanted to mail. If I had to go with, I'd have had part of that warehouse in them. Over there. All I had to do was pay the postage. I had the Germans, there was another boy, and now we're in charge of the warehouse, and he could speak their language. And all we had to do, they'd pack it up, everything. All I had to do was pay the postage. I sent a lot of stuff back.
A lot of it get burned up in that fire?
Well, some of it, but I sent it to different ones. I sent to Francis some stuff, glasses, and I think Merle got some wine glasses or something, didn't he?
I don't remember the wine glass.
It's silverware. Francis got silverware in there. She uses it every day to come with spoons, knives, and forks. And that was pure crystalware that they had over there. We sent back.
All of it have the swastika on it?
Yeah. Everything you get from Germany's got the swastika on it.
So you got forks in there now?
Yeah. Knives, spoons.
Your mama cooks with one of the spoons every day, or uses it all the time.
And it's got a
There's
swastika on it?
swastika on it.
That's just like it did the day you got it.
You don't need to put those to the side and save them. Will they get damaged?
You don't wear it out. It's that good.
That's stainless steel though, isn't it?
Yes, I would have sent back a whole lot more than I did. They'd be valuable now.
On the trip
It
over and
wouldn't
on,
do, it wouldn't do for us to get into
No.
something like that now. There wouldn't be anything left in the country.
Oh, I could have come back my way a millionaire if I'd have wanted to. If I'd have wanted to take the chance.
what happens, what do you mean by take the chance?
Well, I could have got all the cigarettes I wanted and sold them. Could see, paratroopers had jump boots. Everybody in the army wanted a pair of jump boots. You could take a pair of jump boots and get most anything you wanted to. All the cigarettes you wanted.
What would you do with it? The cigarettes are bartering for the Germans to get that stuff?
The French and all, they'd buy them. That cheap they were bringing. Some of them $50, $100 a carton wanted.
Probably, I didn't ever.
You
For
take
cigarettes?
old army blanket. You could sell one of them and get $100 for it.
How many cigarettes were you given as a GI?
Well, I didn't.
Oh, you bought them at the PO.
I wouldn't buy them. I
PX
could
and
get
then
them
you-
from the quartermaster.
Oh, you just get the cigarettes?
Yeah.
And then turn around and sell them?
That's right. If I
Could
wanted
have.
to.
You wanted to.
They issued you so many, but I didn't smoke cigarettes. That's how I got started smoking cigars. I stick mine in cigars. Got started smoking cigars. Dutch master.
How long was the trip over to Europe? and back on the ship? Is that like a week?
They didn't go direct.
They did?
They went to Newfoundland and then
See, it taken us, I don't know, we stayed in St. John, Newfoundland, 47 days. I don't forgot, it had taken us, I reckon, probably almost 2 months to get over there.
And the same way I'm coming back? You went by
No,
Newfoundland?
it didn't take but about, I think about 8 or 10 days. This thing will tell you how long it took.
Oh, so you came directly from France to New York?
That's right.
It took like 8 days.
But we stayed at St. John, then they sent an American ship and picked us up, brought us back to Nova Scotia, Canada, resupplied the ship, and then took us to England. We were supposed to go to Africa to start with, come through Africa and Sicily, but they messed us up on the ship. We didn't go. 82nd went to Africa, come back through Sicily and all, but we didn't go.
You still in France when Patton had his accident? The car accident?
That was after the war was over. No,
Right.
I wasn't over there then.
So you already come back by then?
Yeah, I was back by then. That was in 46, he got killed one. Yeah, I done been back home.
Well, it sounds like you had quite experience from the foxholes to the trucks to Bastogne.
no, he ain't even told you about all the Fraulines.
No, you haven't told me about that.
He doesn't dare let you record that.
So you got to meet chance to meet some women over there?
Yeah.
Did they have,
We had it made when we was in England. We had movie theaters. We ain't got nothing in the States. Well, touch them movie theaters. I mean, we didn't have nothing then. And everything. I had a horse racing. Had a horse racing every Saturday I could go to. Right there, all I had to do was walk from here to top of the hill up there, and it's at the racetrack. And things weren't as short in England as made out with. You take every morning at 10 o'clock, we'd go down to get some, what do you call them, cookies or what?
Bagels.
And we'd get tea. I like the hot tea. Every morning at 10 o'clock, we'd go down to one of those places, and they had plenty of all the cookies and all you want. That night, you'd go out there and get some of the best fries, French fries and fish you ever tasted of. I mean, they were plentiful. You could get all you wanted. All the beer you wanted to drink, anything like that.
Go out dancing on Saturday night.
Every night.
I don't think that made the movies. I don't think that made the movie versions that I've seen.
Yeah, it was there. Where you seen it right now? Yeah, I had a good time while I was in England. To tell you the truth, when I come home to leave these, I stayed with the same group just about 4 years. It was sadder leaving that group of boys than it was the day I went in.
In 1945 when you came out?
45. We had Thanksgiving dinner in Massachusetts. We fell out after that, and from then we never seen each other no more time. Some of us have, but I mean, majority of them I've never seen since then. And I lived with those boys for almost 4 years. And they were getting the cream of the crop when we went in. You could leave a $20 bill in your locker. It won't, and nobody didn't bother.
So you pretty much stayed with the same group of guys the entire 4 years.
Well, almost 4 years, like 3 months being 4 years.
That's not
The
bad.
same group. Which we lost some, we gained some.
And you never go to any reunions?
Yeah, I've been to the reunion.
So you have been to some?
Oh, we have one every year.
Oh, so you go to that?
They give away 2 cars one year, give away a new Cadillac, give away a new Lincoln.
Where's your
Sold
reunions at?
tickets to them.
Cost him a couple of
Where's the reunions at?
Uh,
Where are the reunions at?
I got out of the organization now. Nobody was there that I knew. So
Oh, okay.
they have them in different places. I went to the one in Washington, and we didn't have but one man in my outfit that was there, my company. Of course, I knew a lot of the other guys that was in different companies.
Where was Woody? Wasn't he there?
Wouldn't now,
He didn't go to that reunion?
We had one old Jew from Washington. He lived in Washington. That's the only reason he was there. He wasn't even a member of the Division Association. I don't know why we didn't have, my group didn't join the association. Yeah, I sold tickets to it. I sold about 50 tickets to the car. $25 a chance. You had a chance at a brand new Lincoln and a Cadillac.
Was Frank under one of those exemptions that you referred to earlier? Is that why he didn't serve in World War II?
Frank,
Yeah.
he didn't pass.
Oh, it's physical? Oh.
I think that's written. He didn't pass.
Before
Is he the one that had bad feet? Or an ear?
I don't think it was bad. I don't know, but
See, when he went in, I mean, he went big now. I wasn't here.
I appreciate it.
He's told us, he says, I'm gonna train you men for combat, but I'm not going with you. You know where he was at when we left Fort Bragg?
Stockade?
He's in the stockade for stealing meat.
Intentionally
He
caught?
didn't go either. But he could quote you any article of war or anything in that book. I don't care who the officer was.
This is Sergeant?
He was a sergeant, master sergeant. He was high as he could go.
You think he got caught on purpose? He let himself get
Yeah,
caught so he
I
wouldn't
He
have to
did
go?
it on purpose. Sure he did.
So he wouldn't have to go?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going. He said, I'm not going with you. But that, I'm gonna have you trained so you'll go. He was the #1 sergeant though.
What was the worst incident you had? What would be one of the worst incidents that you went through?
It's been what?
One of your worst times?
what was one of the worst times that you went through
Oh.
during your service?
Well, it was right many of them. Anytime you go in, it's dangerous. Because you're already behind enemy lines when you go in. You're surrounded.
What time did you think y'all were trapped, you weren't gonna get out? Did you ever have a time you thought you weren't gonna get out?
Yeah, plenty of time.
In France?
Yeah, France, Holland, everywhere. We went.
You said on D-Day when you went into that small town, what was the name of the small town?
St. Maria Glees is the first town you hit when you go in.
You did that the next morning, like 7 a.m.?
No, we didn't do it the next morning.
When'd you hit there?
It was a D+3 for after we went into St. Maria Glees.
You mean 3 days later they still had the paratroopers hanging from the trees?
The paratrooper wasn't there, but the hunters and all was.
The what?
You talking about
The
the
shoot,
chapel?
paratrooper was hanging there.
Yeah.
But the trooper, they taking him down.
Yeah, but there's still some hung up in the trees,
Huh?
though, weren't
Oh yeah, well, it was shoots were there, but they got most of them down.
Okay, so all the dead soldiers had been cut down by them.
Yeah. Well, see, it was D+3 before I got to St. Maria Glees. We went in, I ran 5 or 6 miles from St. Maria Glees.
Took you 3 days to go 6 miles?
Oh, yeah.
Because you.
See,
what
we
did you-
didn't move. We set up our DP for supplies, and we stayed there.
DP'd?
Yeah,
What's that?
that's a dump.
Oh, okay.
All them dump, DPs for dump. We had to furnish those troops. The ordnance furnished them ammunition. The quartermaster furnished them food and clothing.
So you would move when you were instructed to go move up to go to that city.
Oh yeah, we changed our dumps whenever the division moved up,
I see.
so we could
So
be in
you're-
there with them. But we were, after you once get in, your quartermaster and ordnance is behind then. you don't do any fighting. You're not a fighting trooper then, unless you have to be surrounded or something. But every man is on his own when you go in until you get organized.
Jim, you guys that got cold feet on one of your missions that wouldn't go in?
There didn't want no such thing as getting cold feet. Not going in.
So you just went with the group?
His favorite sergeant did.
Well, that was before you went
Well,
out.
I mean, he didn't leave.
Right, he never
leave.
left.
No,
Well,
talking about Gagnon.
oh yeah, he got to come
He
back.
got cold feet.
When
He
was
did
that?
one time. Had my German Luger too that time.
He
When-
what?
Had my German Luger with him that time.
What happened?
That's when he went to Bastogne. They got cut off. He come back the next morning. He was there, come back to the old company area. And him and the lieutenant both, they like to got him. One of them busted both up.
Are you saying he didn't go or did go?
SP will have to fill you in on the detail.
Huh?
He used to come home with SP on leave on Saturday, on weekend.
Yeah, see, he had a girlfriend up there. He was from Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
And the company commander was going with the girl in Richmond. All right, Gagnon and the company commander would get us off the base if we get a ride home. And I mean, soon I never saw him until he'd spend the night out there, and his girlfriend had a car, and he would. We would never see him. Only Sunday morning, sometime he'd eat breakfast out there. But I never stayed in camp or weekend that I was at Fort Bragg.
What did he do in the Battle of the Bulge?
The Battle of the Bulge. He went up with the first group that went, and he wanted to borrow my German Luger. So I let him have it. Well, he come back the next morning, got there, him and the Jeep driver and the lieutenant, they got cut off, and he said they lost the whole company of men.
Holy cow.
And he come back and give me the German Luger, said he started to throw it away. He got scared they were gonna get captured. But I'll tell you how our officers was. We had a colonel that went in Normandy. He had a Jeep driver and one or two more to dig him a foxhole. And he never come out of that foxhole for about a week. He was scared. He was supposed to be the leading officer that we had in my company.
At Normandy?
Yeah,
He climbed to a foxhole at Normandy and stayed there for about 5 or 6 days?
that's right. And Colonel Coles was his name. He didn't have a bit more business with that colonel outfit than I did. He was the scariest man I've ever seen.
I assume they demoted him.
Hmm?
I assume they demoted him. Demoted him.
You know what?
Did they demote him?
Oh no, they didn't demote him. Old Bradley should have been fired, or all them men, all those men getting killed going in Normandy. He wasn't no leader.
Omar?
Yeah. He should have pulled those men out from there. They didn't have a chance. They couldn't go up that beachhead until the Germans could run out of ammunition. They didn't have nothing to shoot at with them. What's the name of the on the other beachhead? Omaha. In,
Omaha.
Utah.
Utah was the one I went in on. That was a level beach.
I'm surprised you've never gone back.
Huh?
I'm surprised you've never gone back.
Oh yeah.
Hmm?
I want to get on the airplane.
They still got boats.
I don't like the boat.
Well, they don't have a bus.
I like,
I wouldn't get very far if they
Can't get
did.
the Lincoln out.
no, the last glider that I rode in crashed. And I was a co-pilot. I told the pilot then when we got out there I'd never get in another airplane or glider. And I still held my word every time.
That crashed in Germany?
Huh?
That crashed in Germany or France?
In Austria. See, we had to ride so many rides a year to draw the pay. Well, we knew when we were coming home, we were like 2 rides of having enough to draw our full pay from time we got at this job. And the last one we were taking.
So you got the 2 in, this is the second one.
Huh?
This is the second one
This
you
is the
did.
second one. The tow rope broke in the glider ahead of us. Flew back in the glider, cut the pilot and co-pilot, and they couldn't take off. And when we got ready to come in for a landing, there was an old guy going on with what we call a hoover cart. Had one of the horses and one of these 2-wheel carts going down by the airport. And the pilot, he said, I'm gonna make the horse run away with that man right there. And when he got down so low, when he went to go up over the horse, the tail end of the glider hit the ground and bounced over on the nose. We crashed.
So the pilot was playing.
Yeah, he was doing it. Just careless. Yeah, I told him and that guy, I said, I'll never get in another one, or airplane or glider. Never have been in one.
Well, it wasn't the glider's fault.
No, it wasn't the glider's fault, but I figured I done had my time with them. My luck is gonna run out one of these days. If I kept flying with them, or plane or anything. Well, I used to go down to Fort Bragg at night, and we were right there. Our barracks were right at the air base. We'd go out there and get, all you had to do, check out a parachute, go on down to Florida, Alabama, or anywhere. Go down there and land, turn around, come back, training pilots. I'd go out there most in the night and go down there, 2 or several of them, just for the ride.
Just for some night flying?
Huh?
For night flying?
Yeah, they're training pilots. We'd leave about 6 o'clock, get back in about 10, 11, sometimes 12.
Huh.
We just go for the ride.
Did you take any training over at Camp McCall?
Yeah, stayed over there.
Did you stay at Camp McCall?
Yeah, stayed there. Had old cold heaters. We had to heat those things with barracks. I remember the kind of heat we had there.
Was that in Virginia?
No, that's that Camp McCall's right down below Fort Bragg there. Out
It's
from
at
Maxton.
Hoffman, down at Hoffman. You know where Hoffman is?
Right near the state line.
Well, it's Hamlet is near the state line, but it's just this side of the racetrack down there. You know where the racetrack is?
Or Charlotte?
No.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the racetrack.
That's where we got our glider training.
Rockingham.
Oh, okay.
Rockingham.
At McCall.
Hoffman is on #1 highway. Hoffman is just this side of that.
I got in the hospital down there. That's the only weekend I missed coming home. Had a cold. Got out there and was messing.
Or just the other
Gliders.
side. I've forgotten which. No.
If you get a cold, they put you in the
And
hospital.
Camp McCall was just to the east of that.
You had any fever at all, you went to the hospital. That's the only weekend that I didn't come home.
Before I was drafted, we'd be on the trains and see them, the gliders and the jumps, parachute boys.
Oh, my
But
the commander that I had had got the Alzheimer's disease, and that's so bad he didn't even know me last time I called him up. And he'd been out here, come with me home. I carried him to South Boston to catch a bus, and it ended up he married one of Francis's schoolmates she was in school with. I didn't find it out until after the war was over though.
But the glider pretty much stays attached to the plane until it's ready to land. Is that pretty much how it works?
The airplane pulls it up in the air
Right.
off the ground, and then they tether it. They cut the rope pops loose, it's on a spring.
Oh, really? I thought it
Yeah.
stayed attached to the plane the whole flight except for the landing.
No, they let go of it at peak. When you get up to a
Okay.
certain height, they let go of it, and then the glider just, plane goes in and lands, the glider just keeps floating around until it wants to come down.
It keeps attached to the plane until you get where you're going, then you cut it loose.
Okay. Right, for the landing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but those things would, depending on how high you were when they let go of it, if it went with 3 or 4 people, those things could go 30, 40
There you go.
miles.
That's the sweetest ride you ever had.